outrage this morning over private firefighters in Los Angeles. Some of the city's ultra-rich spending around $2,000 an hour to protect their homes and their businesses from these wildfires. NewsNation's Ryan Bass has more for us this morning. Ryan, this really piqued our interest. How common is it to hire private firefighters in the first place?
You know, Markie, when millionaire real estate investor Keith Wasserman put out a call on his social media account for his followers to connect him with a private firefighter company, it sent the platform on X into a complete firestorm. But it's actually not as uncommon as you think for whether it be wealthy people or others to hire these for-hire firefighters here that are on, private here. In fact, the National Wildlife Suppression Association, which represents more than 300 private firefighter groups, says that just under half of the resources across the country are provided by private fire services. But those for-hire firefighters make up just a small fraction of the non-public firefighters out there, and they cost a pretty penny, some charging north of $2,000 per hour. The key thing to note here is that they bring their own water supply, and they don't take away from the resources used by public firefighters tasked with battling these blazes. They're typically armed with their own hoses, their own blocking gel, and their own supplies as well. Now, they may coordinate with public fire departments, but they're generally pretty self-sufficient. We spoke with CAL FIRE, who said these for-hire contractors aren't on the front lines, and they don't get in the way of their critical work.
Of course, corporations are welcome to hire their own firefighters to protect their facilities, whether it's on a facility property or if it's a series of stands or poles, or if a private homeowner wants to have the insurance company hire them. Of course, we're not going to stop that, but we cannot and will not delegate to private firefighters the operations that we need to have complex coordination with.
And by the way, California passed a law in 2018 to regulate private firefighting, in fact, mainly to make sure that they operate safely and, Markie, that they don't interfere with those really critical public operations.
Yeah. And Ryan, is it normally just the super rich and famous that are hiring these private firefighters, or are you also seeing, pods of people or neighborhoods kind of pool together their cash to make this happen too?
It's mainly about 10 to 20% of rich folks that are hiring these private firefighters. In fact, they are actually, majority of them, contracted by insurance companies, actually, to protect the homes of those that they provide policies for. Also, you've got industrial corporations. So think things like those in oil, gas, or vineyards. They actually hire a lot of these private firefighter teams to, not only safeguard their properties, but ensure that they manage some potential fire risks if they were to pop up here, Markie. So mainly it's the others, right? Those insurance companies and the industries that are hiring them, not necessarily the rich folks, even though those are the ones that get most of the headlines here.
Yeah, who knew? Okay, fascinating. Ryan Bass, thank you so much.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.